Hi guys, it's Debbie from What's Mama Cooking For Us. Thank you for joining me in my kitchen today. And today's cookie, the second video, in case you missed the last one, go check that one out as well. I'm making S cookies, and these are anise cookies, and I love S cookies. They're like the Stella Dora ones, and they have the anise in them. Oh my gosh, I love it. But if you're not an anise person, of course, just use vanilla or almond or whatever flavors you like. But my favorite is anise. So I've always wanted to make these, but never have. So I decided this year I'm going to make them. Simple and easy. We need, let's go over the ingredients. 4 cups of flour, 1 1/3 cups of sugar, white sugar, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 2 1/2 sticks of butter, 2 eggs, 2 egg yolks, a tablespoon of vanilla, and I'm going to put in a tablespoon of... Since I'm using anise in this recipe, I'm going to use a tablespoon of anise and a teaspoon of vanilla. But like I said, you can do it how you like. Almond, anise, they're all, whatever your flavors are. And then we're going to need a little water. And for the glaze, we need a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar and 1 tablespoon of milk. I don't have the milk out, but it's just a tablespoon. And that's if we're going to, glaze them, which, yeah, that's what we're going to do. I might do half and half because I like some of them just plain. They're just so delicious, but you can't stop eating these. They're so good. Oh, my gosh. So let's get started, guys. All right, you guys. I got my 2 egg yolks in there. You guys already know how to separate eggs. Simple and easy, just like this. Yeah. Not as simple and easy as it looks. But I will do one to show you. Oh, Lord. That's why I did it off camera. Look at this. My gosh, you guys. Are you serious? This is what happens in your videos, so that's why I like to do some stuff off camera. And I'm just going to give that a beat. I don't know, you don't have to do that, but I'm going to do it anyway. And so I am going to add a tablespoon of the anise because I love anise. Love, love, love it. And a teaspoon of vanilla. But the original recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of vanilla. You can choose to do it how you want. I love rum. I love almond. Anise is my favorite, especially like for the basil cookies. I don't know, almonds like on the last of my list, so I think I'm going to start making my own, and maybe I'll like it more. I like it, but I like the other ones better. Let's put it that way. So there's our 2 eggs and 2 egg yolks. Let's get a spatula. It's important to get all your ingredients, and plus it helps clean out the bowl and easier for you when you go to wash it. So let's see, we're supposed to do anise and sorry guys, put all that, it's all ready. We're gonna put that to the side. Sorry, I was reading the recipe. Sorry guys. So for this recipe, usually you add the sugar with the wet, but for this recipe it says to add your sugar with the dry. So our sugar is 1 cup, and I keep a 1/2 cup in here so that I can just use that almost for every recipe. So that's 1, and then we need 1/3. Is that 1/3? Okay. This makes a lot of cookies, guys. So there's 1/3. So 1 1/3. And let's see, baking powder, we need 2 tablespoons. Let's make sure. Baking powder, 2 tablespoons. I always like to double check baking powder and baking soda and the amounts, because this can change your recipe drastically. So always double check with those. I do anyway. And our butter we got ready to go. So we need 4 cups of flour. And I'm just gonna do 1 cup here on the camera for you guys. I like to mix up my flour in the bottom of the tub. Let me show you for someone who's not familiar. And give it a fluff if you're not using a scale. Give it a fluff and never do it in here because it would be way more than, like, even if you leveled this off and tried to put it in the 1 cupper, it's going to be way more because it's heavier. You can feel how heavy it is. So we want the softness, fluffiness, I should say. You should just put a little in at a time so you don't get a big clump, I should say. And then do it like that. That's 1 cup. And then we need 4 cups. So I'm going to get those 4 put in there for you. Maybe. Okay, guys. I like to give mine a little whisk. Just to, oh, did we need salt? I think we need salt. Oh, my goodness. I don't see salt. Huh, that's unusual. But anyway, I like to always do that when you have salt and baking powder and stuff. And just give it a fluff. But there's sugar in here, so it's going to be more than a fluff. It's got the sugar in there too, don't forget. So just to make sure that those are all mixed. And then, of course, they're going to get mixed as well when you start adding the butter. So there was 4 cups of flour that we just added. We need, okay, 2.5 sticks of butter. Get all that butter in there. And then it says to cut it up with a knife. I just threw the knife in the sink. Okay, the knife that I took out to cut it with. Used it to get it out of the package, but forgot I needed it. So we're just going to cut into this mixture. Simple and easy. This is going to make a lot of cookies, guys. I forgot. 50 cookies. So we got the flour, the sugar, the baking powder, and the butter. We got our wet ingredients ready. And then what we do is mix these both together, and then we have to knead this dough, actually. If you have a mixer, your mixer can knead it for you. So this was very softened butter. Whenever I'm making a recipe, I take it out, the butter out either really early in the morning before I start the recipe, or even overnight. It's fine. Or you can soften it in your oven or microwave, but not for baking unless the recipe calls for melted. Always just use softened, very soft, so you can actually mix it and do what you need to do with it. So I got this recipe from somewhere on the internet. I can't remember now. So if I figure it out, I will give them the credit. But otherwise, there's a million on there for all recipes. And you can always go find some, see if you like them. This I'm just trying out. But I do have other ones that are a little bit different than this. But, you know, I like to try out different ones. I'm going to cut this up a little bit more. Cut it in the flour off camera. Okay, guys. So this is what we're looking for. See, it's like a sandy... I don't know if I mentioned that we weren't mixing it like, we're just making like a sandy mixture. And he said his Nona used to make a big well, or do this on a board, but now he says he just does his in the bowl, so I'm going to do it in the bowl as well. Let's give this another little mix. And that was just our 2 eggs, 2 whole eggs, and 2 yolks in our extracts. Scrape your bowl out really well, less cleaning. And now I'm going to start with the spatula, but I'm probably going to end with my hands. And we need to get it into a ball, form a ball, and then we're going to knead it by hand. But if you have a mixer, you can do it in your mixer. My hand's already tired. I switched to my left hand. It didn't take long to cut the butter into the mixture though. But this looks like a really nice dough. I'm gonna finish doing it off camera so you guys don't have to sit and watch. Just wanted to show you guys what it's looking like. It's taking me a little bit to get this mixed, giving me a bit of a workout, and then we have to knead it. But I just wanted to show you, make sure you're getting down in the sides, and it's coming together pretty good. So then we're gonna knead it on a board. So I think I've mixed it as best that I can. So we're gonna put some flour down. Not too much, just so it doesn't stick. Look at that. Oh guys, and I tasted it. Oh my gosh. It tastes good. I know you're not supposed to eat the dough, but I do anyway. And it smells absolutely amazing. Let's get this together. It said it might need a little water. We'll see. Cold water. Doesn't look like it needs any. I just don't want to do too much flour because you know you can't mess up when you put too much flour. It should stick together like a dough. Look at that. Perfect. I don't think it's gonna need any water. We just gotta get some of the bits that were in the bottom. So we do gotta knead this. We'll get it in a ball and we're gonna knead it 4 to 5 minutes. And I'm not gonna be able to do that on camera because there'll be too much huffing and puffing going on, but I'll get it in a ball. All right, and that was just about a minute or two. I'm gonna form it into a nice ball for us. And then get those little bits up. And I'm gonna knead this for a good 3 minutes. I did it for about a minute, but we're gonna do it a little bit longer. So here we go, guys. Here's our ball. And I just been kneading it for another 3 minutes there or so. And none of the little flaky pieces are falling out anymore. So it's good to go. It's a nice dough. And the recipe says, oh, and guys, you won't be wore out from doing this. I just have heart and lung problems. So look at that. Looks good to me. It looks beautiful, actually. And we're gonna let it sit for 20 minutes and we'll be back to make these delicious cookies. I can't wait. In the meantime, and I meant to say put plastic wrap over your dough. I didn't show that in the video, but for the glaze, we need a 1/2 cup, doesn't have to be exact, of powdered sugar and a tablespoon of milk. And I always like to mix mine with a spatula, if I can find it. Tear down the house. I got these new cute spatulas, but I always like to use a knife or a spatula anyway because I don't know, you're just going to use it to frost with, so you might as well. This doesn't make that much. I might double that. I'm planning on doing half with frosting and half without. Plus I'm planning on only making maybe 1/3 of the batch and put the rest in the freezer because I'm gonna try some, enjoy them, see how they taste. Put some in the freezer of the dough and of the cooked version so that I can see how well they freeze. So I can see if I can add them to my cookie platter. And I think I am gonna double this recipe because that's not enough for 50 cookies, but even I'm not gonna, but we can use this on any Christmas cookies. And you can also add anise to this as well, which I might too. No, just kidding. I might do that because I just love anise. Yeah, that looks great. So you guys get these containers. I've been using these for years and years. They're like the best things. We color the Easter eggs in them. We color all the food frostings and food colorings and leftovers. They go in the freezer. I get them on Amazon. And I actually just bought all new ones because my old ones were getting a little rough. And they do, but it's been years, good 5 years, 4 years. I still have a few hanging around, but I had to finally break down and buy some new ones. So that looks good to me. It's like a glaze, if you can see that. Absolutely delicious. All right. And then we got to roll the cookies and make them into an S shape. And then we're going to bake them. And we bake them on 350 degrees for 10 minutes. 5 minutes on the bottom rack, 5 minutes on the top rack. That's what the recipe said. That's what we're going to do. Guys, since this is my first time making these, I'm having a little trouble. I got one little nice fat guy here and a really skinny girl here. So we'll see. I'm just practicing. And I'm just using a ice cream scooper because it says about 2 tablespoons. So this dough is so nice. And I've just been rolling it into a ball just to get us started. And then this little dimension here, it says to go 5 to 6 inches. So I'm just kind of learning how to get into the groove of doing this. And once I think I get into the groove of it, it'll get easier and they'll start coming out looking the same. Because we have a whole bag to go. So 5 to 6 inches. And they don't have to be perfect. Like I always say, they just got to taste good. So I just been putting them right on my mat. And then doing them just like that. And they're not going to be perfect. Some people like bring them right in so they're kind of close. But I think that's good. We're going to put them in the oven at 350, 5 minutes on the bottom shelf, 5 minutes on the top shelf. And then we'll see how delicious they're going to come out. Look at this, you guys. Oh my God. Stop buying sprays. Stop buying candles. Just bake cookies. They smell. The whole house is smelling delicious. And look, it didn't matter what size I made them. They all turned out to be exactly the same. So now I know that I just got to make them into an S shape and they're good to go in about a 2 inch, or not 2 inch, 2 tablespoons. And guys, the recipe for these, which I got offline from a website called Chef Billy Parisi. And I'll leave the link below so you guys can follow his direction. And I forgot to tell you, remember I was saying that I only was going to do a half a cup of powdered sugar and 1 tablespoon of milk? That's because I was going to cut it in half because I'm going to leave some plain. But his recipe actually calls for 1 cup of powdered sugar and 2 tablespoons of milk. But I'm not going to frost all mine, but I still made all of it because who doesn't want to just have some of that? So these got to cool completely. These actually cooked 5 minutes on the bottom rack, 5 minutes on the top shelf, or 7 minutes on the top. I wasn't sure, you know, and I don't want to move them because I think they're very fragile. So, and I think they might be a little bit bigger. I might make mine a little bit smaller. I love big cookies, but for Christmas cookies, I think they should be like a little bit smaller. But, oh my gosh, guys. And hang on, we're going to let them cool. We're going to give them a bite, and they're going to be delicious. Oh my gosh. So yeah, this is what they look like on the bottom. These are absolutely beautiful, guys. I'm not sure how to decorate these, but I'm only going to do a couple. I'm going to leave a couple plain, and we're going to just decorate a couple. I'm not sure how to just cover the whole thing, or yeah. Oh my gosh. Guys, look at this. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope you guys are following me because I'm doing a lot of cookies. I did Italian lemon cookies yesterday, and I have a whole playlist of cookies for the holiday and just cookies in general. So if you want to check them out. Oh my gosh. I'm just doing a light thing of glaze. I don't want them to be like too heavy. Oh my gosh, look at how pretty those are, you guys. Oh, look at that. Okay, one more thing I wanted to tell you guys. For the recipe, it says that you can leave these at room temperature on your counter for 6 days, refrigerate up to 8 days, and freeze for 3 months, the batter. And then, of course, you can freeze these as well, and that's what I plan on doing. I'm going to make mine a little bit smaller for Christmas, but look at these. Oh, my gosh, you guys. Oh, my gosh. Let's have a bite. Oh, look inside. Oh, my gosh. Here we go. So delicious. Give these a try, guys. Check out all my other playlists. I got lots of cookies. And I'll see you on the next one. Be blessed, guys.